forced to admit that God was right and would be made a fool of before all of the heavenly hosts. So he snapped back at God and challenged his mercy again. "Strike his flesh and bones," he said. "Surely then he will curse you to your face." God once again agreed, but made it clear that Satan wasn't to take Job's life in the process. Job was covered from head to toe in blistering sores. His situation got worse and worse, but through it all, Job never cursed his Lord. For the first time in human record, one of Satan's accusations fell flat. His promise that Job would blaspheme God hadn't come to pass, and as a reward for his endurance, Job was exalted twice as high as he was when it all began. Through the faithfulness of Job, humanity had achieved their first minor victory, dealing Satan a small but shameful defeat. But things weren't all hopeful for mankind. Though he didn't curse God, Job still had to repent for some of his conduct. He fell short and was still undeserving of God's mercy. Before a holy God, he was still covered in filthy rags. It was clear to the heavenly hosts, and especially clear to Satan, that humans had a hard time living up to their image-bearing status. Mankind was still lost in the dark, piecing together their own idea of what it means to obey God and reflect his image. So God revealed something to man that would help restore their relationship, and something that the devil would quickly take advantage of. Around 640 years after Job, a man named Moses was given the law by God himself, a system in which people could atone for their sins by sacrificing an animal in their place. God had offered a temporary solution to the problem of man's evil that Satan had highlighted time and time again, but it was just that, temporary. Satan knew the offering of bulls and goats was incapable of truly satisfying God's wrath and cleansing the people of sin. He knew that the millions of animals that were slaughtered every year in God's name could never validate mankind as a race. He knew that God didn't even desire the sacrifices of animals. In light of this, Satan took advantage of the new law given by God to his people and saw great success in tempting many to disobey him. Because the law illuminated the difference between good and evil, Satan knew exactly what God was pleased with and what he disapproved of. This made his job far easier, causing generations of kings to be led astray by foreign wives, unclean